Hi guys. I thought with a lot of the comments and fun comments we're getting tonight on my content from a lot of people that seem to be misinformed or misunderstanding or something, whatever, about my weight loss, I thought we could come and do a Q&A so that I can actually answer any and all weight loss questions. So I'm going to wait for you guys to jump on. I just thought maybe this would be a good time of night because it's like 7:11 p.m. Mountain Time. So that means it's what? 7:11, 8, 9, like 9 something Eastern Standard Time. So we got to go grab my phone charger though, girls, because his phone's going to die. But we're going to do a weight loss Q&A since so many of you have a lot of questions. And some of you guys have great questions. You're kind, you're curious. And some of you are just mean women that I really honestly pity. But I really wanted to come on and answer all of the questions because I get so many of them on a regular basis. And I feel like every so often I like to come on and just like do a Q&A with you guys. And I thought, what better of a time than today? And I have time. So any whoosies, if you guys wouldn't mind, share this out. I'm going to actually share this to my keto group and to my personal page. And this is where you guys can ask me anything you want, anything and nothing is off the table. If you have any questions about my weight loss journey in any capacity, tonight's going to be the live. You want to ask it and I will answer it completely unfiltered, raw, honestly. Okay. Here's the thing, you guys. I want to help as many of you guys lose weight as possible. I know, Lisa, right? I want to help everybody accomplish their goals, and I'm not someone that gatekeeps and is like going to hide anything from you. The secret to success, well, it's pretty simple. It's hard work, but it's very simple. So I'm going to go run through kind of my journey pretty quickly, like a quick synopsis of like, what did I do? And then I want to answer any questions that you guys have. Okay. I'm going to go share this to my page. Hi, Mary. So everybody go share this out. Let's see. Let's see. All right, we're going to share this out a couple places. Okay, got that shared, got that shared, got that shared, got that shared. Hello, guys. Hi, Kim. Thanks for sharing, friend. Okay, I'm going to go share this to my personal wall and then we'll get started. So, and then I'm going to, like I said, and everybody like this video one time if you guys would. That would just help tell everybody that we're here and that we're live and all the things. I did send out a text, but I did it a little bit delayed. So let's just dive right into it. Everyone heard the video once. And I'm gonna pause comments so that I can kind of talk about my story quickly, and then we'll answer all the questions you guys have, okay? One thing I just want to start with is, it's crazy the world we live in. Can we just like address that really fast? I've realized, there was a time where hateful comments about my weight when I was heavy and now really hurt me, even just as much as like a month ago. And getting fat shamed or told I'm cheating or told now you're too thin or told anything about my body would always hurt me. Like, you're too fat, you're too thin, you did this, you did that. Like, it used to always hurt me until about a month ago, I relinquished that feeling of, it is what it is. And I want to preface with this like simple thing to note, you guys. Anything that you do in life is going to be a problem for someone. If you're overweight, you've got people calling you fat, lazy, no good, this, that, and the third, judging you, all the things, right? So then you try and maybe you fail a bunch of times like I did the last several years on social media. Losing weight, I failed more than I succeeded. And, people talked about that and people would screenshot and fat shamed the shit out of me, right? So then I go on this journey of really just self-love and there's so much to my journey the last 2 years that this month is 2 years since I started my weight loss journey. And now you get people that are saying, you're editing photos, you got too thin, you are on shots, you had weight loss surgery, you don't look good. So the point with that is, before we get started, I'm not even affected anymore by it. It is what it is. I just respond to these women like just with sarcasm. I just want to tell you before we get started, you are never going to be enough for everyone. No matter what you do or don't do, someone will have a problem with it. So always live in your light and in your truth, and that's all you have to do. People are going to talk, whether you're fat, thin, whatever it is. They're going to talk shit about your forehead's too big. They do me. Or they're going to talk shit about your body, or they're going to talk shit about you have tattoos on your chest, or like there's always something that someone out there is going to say about you negatively. So in spite of all that, live your life for you. And I just want to start with that, you guys. Like, love yourself, live in your truth and in your light, and you have nothing to prove to anyone in this world. If you are happy, thriving, not harming yourself or other people, live in that and just enjoy that. That's what life is all about. You know, life is all about this self-discovery. Every day we're wanting to be better than we were the day before, right? And every day we're all trying to achieve a level of healing in the trauma that we've endured. We're trying to be a better person, a better mom, a better wife, healthier. Like, that's what life is all about. Life is all about us trying every single day to be better than we were yesterday. Literally, that's what life is, right? And I want to just start with that. Because as someone that is on a public forum and a public platform, I get it left, sideways, upside down, inside out. Every day I have someone commenting something about my body, which how women are entitled to feel like they can do that is beyond me. But it happens. And I'll tell you, I have become numb to it because it hurt me for so long. It no longer does. I just wanted to start with that. Like, just live in your life and in light and in your truth. And, you know, I'll tell you guys this, like, I've worked so hard the last 2 years. There's nothing anyone on the internet can say that could ever take that from me. And all that I have sacrificed and went through, and, you know, losing 125 pounds is very, very hard work. It is the hardest thing, one of the hardest things, aside from living through the murder of my mom, the hardest thing I have ever done is lose a drastic amount of weight. And I also just want to preface with, first of all, this brow will be wiping the hell off, isn't it? That's fine. I want to preface with, this was not an overnight story. And I think some people have come in middle of the journey or whatever. And I want to just share that, like, my weight loss, you guys, has been an ongoing thing for 2 decades. I have been trying to lose weight. I was always really healthy and fit in high school, and then college, getting pregnant with my daughter in a really abusive marriage, single mom in it. I gained a lot of weight, nursing school, and emotional eating and all of those things. And for the last 2 decades, why I've been trying to lose it, I have done years of yo-yo dieting, starved myself 3 days so I can eat whatever I want one day, keto, low carb, 2 shakes and a healthy meal. Every gimmick on the internet that was sold to help me lose weight, I was going to buy it. So my point is, I'm not new to it. I have tried and tried and tried for 2 decades, and I failed. Most of the time I failed, because I'm a food addict, and until you can be honest with yourself, like, about some things, you won't lose the weight, and you won't transform your life, period. And so I'm going to just give you guys a quick, like, little synopsis on what I've done to get here. And it's very simple. But it's really, you'll see that the power within it is in not the simplicity, but in the consistency of what I have done to get here. And again, I want to remind everybody, this has been a 2-year transformation. Last year, I only lost 35 pounds. Last year, the whole year. But the year before that, I lost whatever 125 minus 35 is, 95 pounds or 90 pounds, whatever. So just keep in mind as you guys are coming in that this is something I have been on this journey for 2 years this month. And I went to Panama 2 years ago in 2023 on a brand trip with a makeup company. There were some things that happened on that trip where I felt very self-conscious, hated like how I looked, how I felt. And after almost falling and breaking a little platform to get out of a limo and being so embarrassed and just like shaking it off, playing it off like I didn't care, I was done. 2023 was the year I was going to turn 40. And I had to come to this truth within myself that if you continue to be a victim in your life, and well, I eat food because I've been through so much trauma and pain, and so has not had what I have, so therefore I'm going to be fat, and it's just because I've had more trauma. And that victim mentality is what kept me heavy. I'm not saying everyone heavy has a victim mentality. I'm telling you guys my truth, okay? And until I really self-reflected and was like, you have an eating disorder, you're a food addict. If you're not going to, if you want to lose the weight, we have to go to the core at why you're going to food for comfort, right? Because you can't put a Band-Aid on something and it just go away. You have to get to the root of it. And so I started going through regular, every week, significant trauma counseling, murder of my mother. How I started into this world was, very rough, and in and out of places, not a solid foundation till I was adopted. And there's a lot of things that I have gone through in my life that have led me to food for comfort. And so it's like that first thing of acknowledging, yes, I have a problem. Yes, this is why I'm almost 300 pounds again, right? Because I got it back up to like 282 at the beginning of 2023. And I had to really get honest within myself, right? Being a victim and saying, well, so-and-so had lost all the weight, but she's not been through what I've been through, right? Like my mom was murdered. Nobody knows what that feels like. So like I was a victim for so long, and it held me stagnant and yo-yo dieting and gaining weight back, being depressed, being unhappy within myself. And I had to really look inside. To have true joy and light in your life, you have to address all of those things that are heavy and that carry your soul down. And that is not me being a professional. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, a counselor, therapist. I'm just somebody that's been through a lot of stuff, and I have learned ways to cope through, deal with, and get to where I'm at, which is the best place I've ever been in. I'm 41 years old. I am healthier and happier than I have ever been. Aside from some personal life stuff going on, I have never been this healthy ever. And I worked really hard to get here. And here are some of the things that I have done. I told you guys I started with a therapy, which I think was pivotal on my weight loss journey. The biggest thing I did was getting therapy for my trauma, rehashing, reliving, working through it. And that is one of the biggest things I did. I tell you guys that all the time. That is the number one thing I did, was that. Okay. And then it was stopping the excuses and being a victim. If you have excuses all day long, you're going to have no results. It's like you're in this little boat in the middle of a river, and you have all the excuses that are rocks, that are boulders holding your boat stagnant. If you don't release them, you don't move, meaning you don't traject into where you want to be. You're not going to traject into being the best version of yourself, i.e. losing the weight, whatever that is for you, right? So I had to stop being a victim. I had to, because at some point you have to get to a place where you're choosing to then live in that. We go through a lot of hard stuff. Trust me, I'm the first one that knows. Life is not fair, and it sucks. A lot of it sucks, but then a lot of it's very beautiful. And you have to get to a place where it's either I'm going to let whatever I've gone through just define me, and that's what it is in my life. And I'm going to allow that to take all my joy and be depressed all the time, not try to fight for joy, stay overweight, keep, binge eating my feelings, whatever that is for you. Or you can say, F that. I refuse to do that. I'm going to get control of my life back. I deserve joy. I deserve to be fulfilled and happy and successful. I am worthy of that. And for the first time, I started to really believe that what I've gone through didn't have to define the rest of my life, that I could lose the weight, that I could work through horrendous trauma, that I could find joy and light in my life again. And I did, you guys. And it all comes down to like a choice, you guys. We sit with a choice every day. And I tell my 17-year-old this, you get to choose who you are every single day. You can wake up and decide to be a whole different person. You get to choose what you're going to allow to continue to tear you down or not. And that doesn't mean it's easy, because it's hard. It's hard to work through hard things. And it takes a lot of courage to stand up and say, I need help. I need help getting through this, right? So I did that, starting with that. And then I started eating low carb, you guys. one of the first things I did in terms of like physically eating, how I changed, was I bought a portion control plate on Amazon, which was a plate that had like carbs, veggies, fruit, and I started using a portion plate. That's the very first kind of step that I took. I've always been a water drinker. I've always drank a lot of water. I'm actually pretty much, that's only my only healthy habit I've ever had my entire life has been I love water. Okay. And so I started using a portion plate, and then it was, okay, let's start cutting out more carbohydrates. So potatoes, breads, pastas, refined sugars, processed junk food, all of those things I started to cut out. And I started eating meat, veggies, fruit, And I would change things up to like make them different. I would meal prep. I would meal prep for 3 to 4 days of one meat and then change what I ate. So for example, if I prepped chicken thighs, I would eat on chicken thighs for 3 days of meals. And I would change it up. Maybe do a low carb rack with veggies and the chicken. Maybe one day do the chicken with a side of broccoli with a low carb cheese sauce. Maybe do the shredded chicken over a salad. Like I would pick a source of protein and I would eat that for 3 days and make that into different meals. Meal prep was pivotal on my success, 1,000,000%. Even though I work from home, meal prep was pivotal because when you're hungry, you need stuff that you can just grab that is in alignment with how you choose to eat, right? So I would prep things. I would prep snacks, bacon wrapped pickles, hard-boiled eggs were always in my fridge. I always had egg salad in my fridge because I love egg salad, and I would eat that on green peppers with hot sauce. And I would just always have some things in my fridge always for when I was hungry or snacky or whatever. Okay. So low carb, lots of water, told you guys working on my trauma and letting go of all of the excuses as to why I can't lose the weight. Well, I'm not as strong as so-and-so. Well, she hasn't gone through what I've gone through. The excuses are what kept me unhappy and miserable and overweight. And so I dove within myself and was able to acknowledge that I'm choosing this. Because it ultimately comes down to a choice. We can have an addiction. That's okay. And that's something that we have to work at. But it is our due diligence. It's not like what happens to us, we're not in control of in terms of trauma, but how we go forward is on us. And that is the truth. It becomes your responsibility to get help on the things that hurt you if it's making you do things that you don't want to do, or that being a person you don't want to be, or like it's our due diligence that we have to work on it. Even though it's not our fault what happened, but it is our responsibility on how we proceed forward and move forward and how we get on the help on things that we need, and that's okay, right? So that is in a super quick nutshell what I have done. Notice how I never once mentioned anything about a supplement making me lose my weight, okay? I wanna make that very clear. I do take supplements, but I do not ever promote any supplements I take as a weight loss supplement. I was conned into probably thousands and thousands of dollars from social media people that I would follow years and years and years ago that would sell me this false hope of drink 2 shakes a day and a salad for dinner and you will be skinny, or take this shake and this patch and this, that, and the third and you'll be thin, right? I've tried everything under the sun, and now that God has blessed me with a platform, I'll be darned if I would ever mislead anyone. In the state that I was in, and when you're really desperate and you want to change your life, I would never say, oh, this is the answer. No, the answer lies within consistency and your daily activities. And it's the smallest things you do every single day that lead to the really big results. I didn't allow myself to go to the movie theater for a whole year because I knew that I was not strong enough to say no to Reese's Pieces and popcorn. Right? I didn't put myself in situations where I knew I would fail because I knew better, right? That's a sacrifice I made. Christmas and Thanksgiving, 2023, I packed my own food to take to my brother's house for Christmas. Those are sacrifices that I made along this journey. A couple to name, just to name a few of the many sacrifices that I made, right? And there's this preconceived notion on social media that if you share your journey, you're automatically, first of all, I want to say anyone that does anything to take control of their health, that's amazing. It takes a lot of courage to get help for whatever that is for you, whether that's therapy on your eating disorder, whether that's you take weight loss, those shots, whether you get bariatric surgery, lap band, whatever it is. If you're working with your doctor and you're taking control of your health, I think that's absolutely amazing. And it takes a lot of courage to acknowledge you have a problem and to seek help to get a resolution. I totally have respect for people that do that. With that being said, that has not been my journey. So to answer some of the questions, no, I don't take shots. No, I've not had a lap band. No, I've not had gastric bypass. I truly have just changed my everyday life, you guys. My life today looks nothing like it did 2 years ago. Food no longer controls every move I make. Food no longer is controlling every emotion I have, is no longer controlling what I put into my mouth, because that's a choice that I make. I have a system that I've put into place for myself when I want to binge eat, which there are still times, because I am an addict to food, and food addiction becomes a lot more complex than others because we have to eat to survive, right? It's not an addiction where we can go to cold turkey. You have to eat to live. And so I had to learn and start putting in place systems that help me when I want to go binge eat, because I have them just like everybody else. I have stress in my life and things that make me want to go to food for comfort, because that's what I've always done, right? And so I stop, I acknowledge, I'm in the pantry. I know right now I'm stopping and calling myself out that I am literally going to indulge in something that is not serving me in a good way. After I go on this bender and eat all this shit, I'm going to feel like crap about myself and be disappointed in myself, and it's this vicious cycle. So I will stop myself, acknowledge what I'm about to do, or if I'm even in the middle of like doing it, I will stop and do that. Then I will go like chug 8 to 10 ounces of water. And then I will go journal like a couple sentences of like, what am I feeling? What's making me want to go to food? To just acknowledge that, because I like to keep track of that. And I read it sometimes on the struggles I've had the last 2 years. And then I get busy doing something else. Let me go shut this door because my husband's home. And then I get busy doing something else. And I call that like, it's a distraction technique. I will go on a walk. I will go do laundry. I will go reorganize something. I'll go work. Like I will go then get distracted. And that is a system I put in place for myself. I could show you guys my journal. I do this anytime I feel compelled to go to food for comfort. It's a system I put in place for myself, and I've been very successful in it. I will tell you guys, this last 8 days alone, I've had to write in that 4 days I wanted to go to food for comfort, because I'm going through some heavy stuff in my real life. And I still struggle with it to this day, right? So that is, now do I take supplements like I told you guys? Yes, I do. I take TrimFit, energy, appetite control, better mood. It's changed my life. I love it. I think everybody that needs help with their mood, energy, or appetite control should take it. It's incredible. But did this make me lose weight? No, it did not. Okay, no. I will never mislead you. I will never tell you something you want to hear so you'll buy my product. It's not as simple as that. It's been a great tool, right? To not be snacky all the time. TrimFit helps curb the appetite. Hell yeah, it's been great. It's helped my mood, my motivation, and it's changed my life. But this is not how I lost the weight. I lost the weight because I made the decision to stop being a victim in my life, to stop making excuses, get the help that I knew I needed to get, and get to work. That's it. And I did that consistently. For 2 years, I've done that. That's what I've done, you guys. And I am always here to help you. If you guys, message me questions, I will help you in any way that I can. I don't cost anything for you guys to reach out if you have questions on anything. I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. So now I'm gonna catch up on comments, and I wanted to come on and answer any questions any of you guys might have. My wig's moving. Any questions that any of you guys might have on my weight loss journey or on weight loss in general, what I've done, whatever, I'm gonna answer them. So I'm an open book. Ask whatever you want. I'm not offended by anything. I just wanted to give a quick overview of my story really fast. And, at the end of the day, guys, it's a choice. It's a choice that we make. Again, it's not our fault, things that we go through in life that maybe make us go to food for comfort or whatever, but it's our responsibility to get the help we need to move forward in life. And it just took hitting rock bottom, you guys. So depressed, almost 300 pounds again. None of that was bringing my mom back from being murdered. It didn't fix anything. It just made me miserable every day, made me a miserable mom, a miserable wife, a miserable person. And I had to really look within myself and acknowledge that. And do I want to stay in this place mentally, physically, emotionally, or is joy and all the light worth the fight to get there again? Because I deserve it. And I believed I deserved it. And so do each and every one of you. We all deserve to be happy and thrive and be successful. And we all deserve that in our lifetime. We all do. And it took the choice to really be I'm going to run after this no matter what it takes, because I deserve this. And I deserve to be healthy and feel good about myself. I deserve to feel good every day and not be in pain because I'm so overweight. I deserve to look in the mirror and feel confident and like what I see. Some women on the internet want to shame you for being confident. Like, we should all want each other to like feel our best, be healthy, look our best. Like, we should be rooting as women, especially, and women are the only haters I ever have. We should want each other to do well and to thrive and to like, I don't know when that energy changed in the world where it was like, I see someone doing well and happy. Let me just go rain on her parade. And, you know, like, words have so much power. I no longer give them power anymore, because I did that for the last 2 years of being depressed over some of your guys' comments and accusations and meanness. And it brought me nothing but sadness. And I refuse to be sad. I've worked too hard to get where I'm at. I know my story, right? I do. I lived it. My husband knows my story. My 17-year-old that's seen me struggle with my weight her whole life has seen my story. And God knows my story. Anybody else, I don't have to justify anything to anybody. And I tell people, believe what you want to believe. I'm good with it. I'm at peace with it. I know how hard I worked to get here and what I did to get here. And I don't have to justify or validate that to anybody in the world. So, like I said, the closest people in my life know my story. They lived it with me, and God knows it and I know it. And anybody else, well, that's a bonus. But, you know, I just wanted to like kind of go over really quickly my journey, like in a nutshell. And now I'm going to answer any questions that you guys have on weight loss. Okay. I'm going to catch up on comments now. All right. I'm going to be skipping, like, if you guys are just saying hi and stuff, I'm just going to skip over until I see any questions. And I don't think that, you know, I don't necessarily look at people that say rude things as negative or as jealous. I don't feel like there's anything to be jealous of within me. I don't ever look at it like that. I think that sometimes people are hurting in their own life and they need something to project on. And sometimes it's me, or sometimes it's somebody else on the internet, because you don't know me. So it's easy to like get out frustration on a stranger. I think sometimes that's what it is. Or sometimes, for some reason, as someone on the internet, some people just don't want to like you for whatever reason. So they're going to find anything they can. Someone accused me of photoshopping a photo of me today, which it's literally in a video, a reel I posted today of a live photo. You can see the photo in live, that it's live. And people will still say, well, you cropped that. You edited that. Again, it goes back to what I started this video with, you guys. You're never, there's always going to be people that want to see you fail and want to bring you down no matter where you're at. Whether you're in your hardest season in life or you're in your happiest, there's going to be people, that's just the world we live in. And unfortunately, I've gotten very used to that because I've gotten a lot of it. And at the end of the day, like I said, I stopped giving it power, because words have power if we give them power. And I had this big talk with my best friend in California when we were on a trip. And she's like, why do you give those words power, Jess? You know, I know what you've done to get here. Like, why does that matter? And ever since then, I've just looked at it differently, you know? Okay, I'm going to answer any questions if I see them. Yeah, people always have something to say. And, you know, it's crazy that people, women especially, find it so easy to go shame another woman's body or face or how they look. Like, it baffles me. But again, that's okay. It is what it is. I just wish nothing for the best for those types of people. I'm not like that. I want everybody to do well and live their best life and transform into their greatest self. And, you know, every day that you're getting better and better than you were the day before is something to be proud of and to celebrate, because life is hard, man. It's hard. We go through some hard stuff in this world, you know, and you deserve light and love, and you deserve success, and whatever you want to attain in this lifetime, you're capable of doing that. And we need to start telling each other that you are worthy of this, what you desire, and you can attain it, right? We need to be uplifting each other, not being ugly, because ugliness isn't going to change the world. We know this. Okay, let me catch up. Yep, there is portion plates. Yep. You guys can message me. I do have a link for a plate if you guys want one. Did you try Activia in the past? I have not done any kind of medication. So no, I have not tried that in the past. I've not done any medication to get where I am. Again, if you have, or that's your journey, I think it's amazing. And people like to twist the shit out of my words. They'll say, well, she shames people that have lap bands and she shames people. No, I don't. I just try to set the record straight that that's not my journey. That's not what I did. It doesn't mean it's bad if you do that. I think we all are on our own journey, and we're all trying to be healthier and happier and work on ourselves, and whatever we have to do to attain that. Obviously with your doctor, I think it's great. It takes a lot of courage to say, I need help in whatever capacity that is, right? I don't think that that's a bad thing. It's just like, say for example, like you guys made this all-star basketball team, right? And all people would tell you is that you knew someone that knew someone, and that's why you were on the team. It wasn't that you did 3-a-day practices every day for 5 months to get really good and to perfect your craft. It wasn't all of the times you didn't go out with your friends and party because you were on track with your health so you could be in this all-star game, right? It was just because you knew someone that knew someone, and and someone would take that away from you. Do you guys understand? Throw hearts if you get what I'm saying. Well, she only made that team because so-and-so knows so-and-so that knows so-and-so. It wasn't all of the sacrifices she made to get there. It was just people want to believe it was something it wasn't. That's kind of my point with that. If you want to grab, the Trim Fit, it's under $50 for a month supply. If you subscribe and use my code, and you can cancel anytime, just comment below wellness and you'll get sent the link. It's changed my life. Try it or don't. That's not even what this live's about, but you asked, so you can comment that and you'll get sent a link. I've lost 125-ish pounds. And my girls that have been with me day in and day out the last 2 years, they've seen the journey. And if you go back and watch, go listen to me talk. For the last 2 years, I've told you guys everything I'm telling you right now. Nothing has changed in my story. It's just, I got to the goal. But then there's really you're never to a destination, right? Because once you lose the weight, that's great. But now I have to maintain the weight. And I have to incorporate the things that I have changed and learned along the last 2 years. I have to keep utilizing those, because don't think for a second within 6 months I couldn't be almost 300 pounds again. I could, absolutely could. If I don't continue to live every day with the changes that I have made and continue on, I can gain the weight back just as easily as I lost it. That's very real, a reality for me, and something that terrifies me all the time, that I'm always in the back of my head conscientious of, all the time. Now, I am in maintenance now. I do not eat strictly low carb anymore. I eat very healthy. So I eat very clean. I eat all organic, all of my vegetables, fruits, organic. I cut out dairy a month ago and I've never felt better. And I eat foods. So if I do pasta, it's like a protein pasta or organic protein pasta or an organic pasta. If I eat, like any kind of starches, it might be like quinoa or rice or something like that. But still, again, like lots of meat, lots of vegetables, lots of fruit. That's what I still do to this day. All right, let me catch up here. I don't count my protein, but I am very conscientious of getting protein. Protein is pivotal, not only for weight loss, but so many metabolic functions in your body that you need protein for. Proteins break down to amino acids, and there's so many things that those do in your body for just systems that your body does by itself without even trying to lose weight. Protein is very important, in my opinion, in terms of the research that I have done. And I do a protein coffee every morning I make. And then I try to do things that are higher in protein throughout the day. High protein meals, meats for sure, stuff like that. So I've never really calculated my protein, but I've always been conscientious of my protein intake and making sure that I'm being intentional on that. How did you avoid food when you were emotional, bored, etc.? Menopause kicked my butt. I find wandering to the pantry when I'm feeling yucky. I know I shouldn't, but I do. Keeping busy is not the answer. What do you say to yourself to avoid food? Kathleen, that's a great question. I place myself, right? So you just saying that shows that you are aware. You're aware of what you're doing in the moment, right? So I think the first step is calling yourself out. Okay, what am I doing? I'm going into the pantry. I'm not hungry. So calling yourself out, being aware. And it all comes down to the choice, you guys. Like, how bad do you want to be healthier? That has to be like the number one priority in your life. If you really want to change your life, it can't be, well, what if this or that? No, there has to be no excuses, and you're going to do whatever it takes to get there. And that was where I was at. So, letting go of the excuses. And for me, like I said, when I have those wants to go binge eat or whatever, I do what I just said. I go chug some water, maybe shake up some more Trim-Fit. I go journal, like, why am I wanting to go binge eat? And then I go get busy doing something else. Like, that's what I do. Are you going to get what you have loose skin cut off? No, I actually have a blood clotting disorder. I have factor 5, and skin removal surgery is it's a very intense surgery on anybody, let alone someone with I have a blood clotting disorder. It's not worth the risk for me. So I'm not going to ever get skin removal. No. Oh, thank you. Hey, Loretta. Welcome in, Loretta. Well, girl, this is a wig, so don't be too fooled. We're capping underneath.
Yes.
Hi, Prezi. Oh, is your daddy okay if you're on my video? Hold on real quick.
The cat went downstairs.
Oh my gosh. Here, let's go make sure your daddy's okay if you're on my video, okay?
But
hold on,
the
sweetheart.
cat went downstairs.
Okay, hold on.
See her.
Hold on. Where's your daddy at?
He's down. He's down there.
Chris, are you okay if he's on my video? I'm live and he's in there. No, is it okay if he's on there though? Okay, I can make sure. Okay, Prezi. Well, we'll come get the cat in a minute. Do you want to come hang out with me while I finish my video?
No, I want to see her went downstairs.
Okay, I'll see her as soon as I'm done. Okay, best friend?
I watched her.
Oh my gosh, you did? Sorry.
Yeah, when she went downstairs by herself.
Oh my gosh, she did?
Yeah, and I just never got her again.
Oh, wow. So this is one of my really good friend's son. Her husband is helping Sean move something, so he's here. Prezi.
Can I go help them?
Hold on one second. Hold on, Prezi. Hold on, buddy. Well, okay, if you're going with them, go with them. I'm gonna finish my video. He's coming outside. I'll be in my office. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. He's so cute. I love him so much. I just got a little stressed because I'm like, his dad, are you okay if he's on my video? He obviously doesn't care, but I want to make sure. Okay, anyways. Okay, let's go back to see. We'll answer a few more questions. First, you're wise beyond your years. Congratulations on your weight loss. Thank you so much. Thank you, June Summers. So for the first, I would say 6-ish months, I didn't allow myself to have any kind of sweets, even if it was low carb. And here's why. One of my vices is sweets. Ice cream. Oh my God. I used to love me some ice cream, girl. Ice cream, chocolate, peanut butter, candy, those kinds of things. I've always loved, I would eat Lay's potato chips and then eat Reese's Pieces with it. That's the kind of thing that I was addicted to. So for me, June, I had to not allow any of the sweets to I feel like that was a slippery slope for me. I couldn't allow myself those things because that was flirting with bad choices. So until I really got the foundation of how I was eating and really comfortable within that, then I allowed myself to have maybe a little bit of a couple little chunks of a Lily's chocolate bar, or making fat bombs with the cream cheese and some stuff. There are things that I did have that were low carb, but I didn't allow that for a while because of the slippery slope that I feel like it is. And also, like I said, even going to the movies was something that I wouldn't allow myself for a whole year. I didn't go to the theater because now it's funny. We just went with our friends to a movie a few weeks ago. I wasn't tempted at all. It's so crazy how I've changed, that food doesn't control every part of my life anymore. And Sean got a medium popcorn, and I got one of those they have the little brown bags, and I put a little bit of popcorn in that for my serving to have. And I ate that and I was good. So, so that is my answer on that. I hope that helps answer that. And I'm telling you, my way is not the right way. My way is not the only way. There's a lot of ways to lose weight. Okay. At the end of the day, If you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight because it's science. Anybody that tells you you don't have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight is lying, because that is how you lose weight. Less calories than you're taking in, less calories than you're expending. You have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. Is shrimp fit okay for diabetics? Well, it does have a little bit of sucralose, which is a dirty sweetener. With that being said, I've had it all throughout my journey. I can't speak on that. If you do want to comment wellness, you can go to my website, look at the ingredients, ask your doctor. I'm not comfortable answering that just because like I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to just tell you what you want me to tell you so you can go buy it. I would say you can go get the ingredients off of my website and then ask your doctor. And I just had to like turn on my fan because I'm hot. Thank you guys. Can teenagers take hormone balance? Rachel, again, conversation for your doctor. My 17-year-old takes total every day because she has really bad cycles. And anyone that's menstruating and up can technically take it. But again, always ask your doctor if you're not sure. And Leanne says, how did you break the habit of emotional eating? Well, I don't feel like I've still broken it, right? Because I still want to do it. You don't ever just turn off being an addict. Like, you have to work at that your whole life. And anyone that's had any addiction, and I think we all have one in our life, anyone that says they don't have anything they're addicted to, that's a lie. Everybody in this world has something, whether it's cigarettes or you drink a freaking two pots of coffee a day, or whatever it is, we all have something. You don't just be able to turn that off. You have to work through that. And again, like calling yourself out, like that, again, that's like one of the biggest things I did was that I do to this day is like just 2 nights ago, I was in my pantry and I'm like, what are you doing, Jessica? Like what? I was anxious all day. I'm stressed out and I'm looking for something to eat. And I had to tell myself, like, what are you doing? I'm becoming aware of the choices I'm about to make are not in alignment with how and this is not to say you can never have bad foods again. I eat bad foods now in moderation, but I always am aware of an emotional tie with when I'm wanting to eat. And that's the thing that as a food addict that I'm always aware of. Like, am I choosing to have this sweet treat just because I want to have it today? Or am I deciding to have it because I'm so depressed and feeling so like crap that I want it to lift my spirits, right? And there's a fine line between differentiating that. There is. And some people, they won't allow themselves to ever eat off track again because they can't, right? And you have to find what works for you. I refuse to not have a carb ever again in my life. I'm not going to live like that. So I found a way that has worked for me. And I eat low carb all throughout the day. Most days of the week, I'm pretty low carb. And I say low carb for me, 100 carbs or less at this point is low carb still. I mean, technically it really is a lower carb lifestyle, but I eat dairy-free yogurt. There's definitely carbs in that. I eat a lot of fruit. I love acai bowls. I make those all the time. I love yogurt. I love fruit. I love to make like organic pasta with like a low carb spaghetti sauce sometimes. I love wings and all of these things. But again, it's that like tie with the food that I always have to like be aware of. How do you know you've worked through traumas and therapy in order to help with weight loss? Like, what helps to push through those barriers to be in a different mindset on working to lose the weight? Jody Lynn, that's a great question. I'll try to answer it as best as I can. I know for without a shadow of a doubt. So my mother was murdered April 25th of 2018. I had been on a weight loss journey from December of 2022 through April when she was murdered. I had lost quite a bit of weight on keto, right? She was murdered. I went into this really deep depression, as any of you can imagine. And I didn't really eat or sleep for months. I lost a lot more weight, an unhealthy weight, because I was literally just like survival mode. And then we fast forward and it's really hitting me. And then I'm going through all of these court hearings and this and that. And getting to the trial took years. And there were so many things along the way that I would just go to food. And I remember being like so broken that I would literally like sit on my bathroom floor just praying for God to take me while I was eating food. Like it just became a numbing agent for me, food did. And you know, in my therapy, I learned that back when I was really like a really little girl, about the time frame it happened for me. So my parents were addicts and I was kind of just tossed all over till I was 4. And then I finally had stability in my life. My aunt, my biological aunt, adopted me and she gave me a wonderful life. But up until that point, there was nothing that was stable. And we were able to like go back in time and look at the time frame in which I would start going to food because I was scared or whatever. And I think that that's kind of where it might have started. And I do believe all through my life, I've had an addiction with food. I think it just caught up to me in my adulthood because as a teenager, I was a big athlete and burning way more calories than I was taking in because I was so active that I never was really like self-aware of it until, you know, you get into your adulthood and you're pouring on the weight. And, you know, I always knew I had issues, but I didn't know to the extent of why I was always going to food for comfort until I had to like really be real with myself. So I will say I definitely feel therapy helped because I had to go relive like the hardest things I've ever been through in my life and talk about them, relive them, re-experience them again to process and work through it. And in doing that, it allowed me to finally come to a peace and an acceptance that this happened. And I have no control over changing it. I can't make it not have happened. I can't rewind time. All I can do now is live forward with my life, whatever that looks like. And I had to learn, like, I kept letting my pain be what my life was. And that's just what it was. I was a victim and poor me. And I just was so miserable. And I think that eventually you get to a place where you're tired of being sad all the time and you have to fight or you're not going to make it because it can get that dark. It did for me in 2021. And I write about this in the book that I'm writing. In 2021 was the darkest year I've ever had and the closest to death's door I think I was knocking. And if you don't like go to get help for the things that hurt you, you also bleed on people that didn't hurt you. My husband, I'm surprised that he stayed with me through it. I'll tell you guys completely honestly, after my mom died, I had to be mad at someone and Sean got all of my anger. I would pick fights with him. I would yell at him. I would just like be like, I just need you to get out. I don't want to be with you. I'm too broken. And that man stuck by my side, right? And the thing is, like, if you don't work through it, and I feel like working through those things for me, it gave me this gateway to like, to really find it, because I think sometimes in our traumas, we feel like we don't have value or we are not worthy of something. Or, you know, there was a lot of times I would feel like, how could I be happy when my mom was brutally murdered? How could I ever be happy when this happened to her? And every time I would find a little bit of joy, I would feel bad. And it was this cycle. And I had to get the help to know that, like, no, you know, you do deserve to live a fulfilled life and to be happy and to be highly successful and do whatever it is that you want to do. Like, you're worthy of that. And I started to tell myself that and actually believe that, you know, and I believed that I deserved this despite all that I've gone through. I didn't deserve to keep living the way that I was living, depressed, food addict, you know, overweight, unhappy. And I had to start to fight for what I felt I really deserved. And that came from that part of starting to really love myself. And I tell you guys this, like, with no sorry about it, I'm the strongest person I know. I literally am the strongest person I know. I'm bulletproof. And instead of looking at my life like a victim, it's like, God, I've survived so much. And you know what? I've survived the deepest depths of hell, and I'm still a good person. That is amazing, right? Because a lot of people get cold. I'm still an incredible human being and a big-hearted soul, despite all of the pain I have endured, you know? So I think it just took like working on that. For me, that was helpful because, again, I was suppressing food all the time and just in such a depression all the time over it. Thank you. You like my nail color? I didn't track my foods. You have factor 5, Vicky. Yes, I stopped eating at 6:30 to 7 p.m. every single night. That's how I lived my life. And I would honestly try to do the earlier the better. So that's a great question actually, because for the first several months I tried to really intermittent fast. I would do like stop eating at 6:30 and then not eat the next day until noon. I would try to intermittent fast until then. Aside from my supplements and my coffee in the morning, I wouldn't eat until like noon the next day. I did that for a long time until I was reading a weight loss article one day on this doctor that had said something about within like the hour of waking up, you should be taking in 20 to 30 grams of protein. I don't know. I read it. I read all of his sciencey knowledge as to why. And so I started making a protein coffee every morning since then. Shoshona, I eat all fruits now. Now, during my weight loss, I really tried to stick with lower glycemic index fruits. So like strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. But I would still sometimes once in a while have a banana or an apple. I'll tell you this, fruit isn't what makes us fat. Let's just get that out there. I didn't eat too much fruit and veggies and get overweight, right? So I would allow myself to have a banana. Bananas are my favorite fruit. I would allow myself that sometimes. But when I was eating during the active weight loss process, I would try to stick with berries. That's amazing. M says, I quit cigarettes after 27 years. Today is day 35 and it's still hard. Amen. It always will be. I do chew gum. Yes, sometimes. Hey, Krista, what you doing, girl? I'm catching up on comments, guys. If you guys have any other questions on my weight loss journey, please drop them in the comments. I love you. I would love to hear what questions you have. I would love to answer them. I'm an open book with everything, you guys. I don't gatekeep anything. I tell you exactly what it is. And I will answer whatever questions you have. I'll give you guys a few more minutes to ask anything you want to ask. Do you miss your career in medicine? That's a great question, Karen. So if you didn't know, I'm a registered nurse. I have been an RN since 2009. That's a weighted question. Yes and no. So the last shift that I worked as an RN was the night my mother died blocks away from the hospital I was working at. And there's something about that I'm repulsed by it now, because I was taking care of 4 people's mothers that night and I couldn't save mine. And that's something that I still carry. And that's something that most people can look at that situation and say, well, you shouldn't feel that way. But I do, right? And there are some things that you go through that are so traumatic that they may not make sense to everybody else because they're not in your shoes. So for me, nursing is just something that completely repulsed me after. And I can't explain it. All I can say is, but God, because right, God had this gift for me. And despite all that I went through, he freaking blessed me beyond measure. He gave me this platform, people that I get to connect with, a way to share things that I love, make a living for my family. And I do still believe in my heart, and I will always believe that I help people. And that's all that I've ever wanted to do. So yeah, sure, I miss it sometimes, but unfortunately, what I've gone through kind of robbed that from me. Now, with that being said, I still keep my RN active license, my license active, because you never know. I'm not dumb I may have to go back one day. I don't know. I have no desire at this point to do that. That's all that I can kind of answer as of right now. So Kelly, TrimFit, a probiotic, and orange collagen are kind of the ones I've taken most of my journey. I also take greens now and a couple of other things, but the TrimFit and the probiotic for sure were the ones that I felt like they were the most important for me, like to feel good and to get my gut in alignment and to have like energy, appetite control, those things. You guys can comment wellness and you will get sent a link to my supplements. You can bundle stuff, subscribe, use my code. You can ask me questions privately in Messenger, whatever you guys need. I didn't see your question. Jamie Mays, I have not tried the weight loss shots, babe. And I went over that really extensively on this live as well. And if you guys are just coming in, I really hope that you guys will go back and rewatch the beginning because I really kind of dove into like a lot of the bulk of my journey and kind of what that looked like and stuff like that. Yeah, if you message me, I can give you a link to the plate. Or I'll say both, Katie, because I'm addicted to them after seeing you have them in California. Well, Leanne, I eat them multiple days a week now. I do. I love them. I mean, I would just say if you're not eating too many of them, but I mean, I probably have an acai bowl 3 times a week. I didn't track calories or macros, no. That was just something that was too strict for me. And in the past, when I've been super, super strict, that's when I fail. So I would use my little plate. I used that plate for like 6-7 months. And then I got into just like how kind of what regular portions were. And I started adapting to that and just eating like smaller amounts of food. I never weighed my food. I've never used a food scale. I've never tracked macros. And that's not for me to tell you not to do that. That's obviously the best thing you should do. I just did not do that. Okay, I think I'm caught up. I don't see any more questions. The link for the plant, for what, Teresa? But I love you guys so much. And if you guys think of any questions that you have, feel free to reach out to me privately. You're always going to get me in Messenger. If you message my page, you'll always get me on the other end. I'm happy to answer questions. Give me some time though, because I'm not just sitting there waiting for your messages. It might take me a little bit of time to get back to you, but I answer all of my messages myself. If you want the plate link, comment below plate link. I'll send you the plate link. If you guys want to check out my supplements, comment the word wellness. And then get in my Messenger, guys, if you have questions or you want to know more details. Yeah, Kathleen, I didn't see your question, baby. Well, Debbie, I started at 281, 282, and now my weight goes between 255 and 260, or 155 and 165. I kind of stay in that 10-pound range. Today I was like about 157 pounds, 156 point something pounds. So I really stay within like that 155 to 165, more like 160 or 155 to 163 range, which people on the internet say I'm too small. I'm 5'8". I'm not too small. I'm a healthy, normal body weight BMI now. And I'm not too small though. That's another thing that just drives me up the wall. I'm not too small. I'm just healthy now. And I think that looks like it's too small to some people because I was big for so long that now people are like, well, you're too small. But no, I'm just a normal size now. That's all it is, right? Do you use mixes with the water to get all the water in? I drink water plain. I do have electrolytes sometimes I'll add to my water, or lemon. And then I drink, in the morning, I drink Trimpet and orange collagen mixed together, which is delicious. And then in the afternoon, I do, Trimpet and greens. Okay, Deborah Chambers Miller, where have you been? I missed you. I see you, Stacy. I'm sorry, Kathleen messaged me, friend. I'm sorry I missed your comment, babe. But I hope that this helps clear up a little bit on kind of my story. I'm going to pin this at the top of my page too. And if you guys have any questions, like I said, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to answer anything that you want to know. And I want you guys to just take something from this. Like if you see someone in their life doing well, right? Thriving, doing well, feeling good about themselves. I want you to think for a second at how hard that person probably worked to get there. The next time you want to go say something crazy on someone's post or be rude or judgmental without you knowing anyone's story, I think that we should think on that, right? Because for me, I have worked so hard to get here and I've gone through so much. And you just never know what someone has gone through or are going through. And kindness goes a long way. And if somebody works so hard to get somewhere and they're achieving something that they've worked hard and they've overcome so much, like we should be clapping for them. Clap more, hate less. I need to get a shirt that says that. Clap more, hate less. Okay? So you guys are worthy of anything that you set your mind to. You want to be a millionaire? Go be a millionaire. Don't let anybody tell you that you're being too selfish. No. You can achieve anything in this life that you want to achieve. I tell you, you can. There's nothing too far-fetched that you can't do if you really want to do something, period. And I want you to always chase after what you want. And chasing after what brings you joy and light and success and health, you should want to do that. And whatever anybody says about it, if they don't like it, that's not your problem. because you are worthy of joy. You are worthy to look in the mirror and love what you see. You are worthy of getting into the size 4, whatever you want jeans and feeling good about it. You are worthy of anything you want to accomplish as far as school or a career. You are worthy of that, and you can have that, and don't feel bad about that. And if you do get to a place of success of whatever that is, don't let anybody ever steal that from you. Okay? I love you guys. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.